Take time, okay. Hi, my name is Ben Higgins. I'm from Denver, Colorado. For the purpose of this video, I've asked my friend Travis Smith to kind of help me out. Ask the questions, I'll try to answer them the best I can, and maybe you'll get to know me a little bit. So from what I've read so far and remembering the questions, like I said, I'm right now living in Denver. I'm from Warsaw, Indiana, originally. I moved out here 2 years ago. I recently purchased a home in Denver, so I think this might be the place I'm going to stay a while. When I'm out here in Denver, I really like to make it up in the mountains, skiing and hiking. Denver's a great place just to be outside. The culture out here is, kind of focused around three things. It's beer, being outside, and I guess marijuana, but I don't know what else. We'll start over. What else?
No, you're still good. You're good.
I mean, we're good, but we should probably not say marijuana. What else are we known for? Denver's known for beer.
Being the Mile High City.
Being a mile
Beer
high.
mountains.
Yeah, beer, mountains, and out.
I mean, I would say Broncos.
No, okay. We'll start over. Okay.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah, my hair's getting on my way. Okay, go ahead.
Good thing you're not on video for that.
I know.
I'm 25 years old. I currently live in Denver, Colorado. I've been out here 2 years. For the purpose of this video, I've asked my friend Travis Smith to kind of join me, walk me through the questions, but I'll try to answer them the best I can, and maybe you'll get to know me a little bit. But from what I can remember, reading through the questions, this is easier though. This is easier. We're gonna get this. Okay.
All right, take 3.
But your elbows in the entire, so.
I tried to balance, but here, I gotta take these off. I can't see what I'm doing. Am I recording?
Tell me.
Take 3. Just the ability to be outside in the mountains whenever you can. When you live downtown, you're an hour away, so it's great in the winter when you get up to ski. You can ski all day with your friends, and at night go to a ski lodge, hang out by the fire, drink and relax, and wake up the next morning back to a snow-covered mountain. So when I'm out here, I thought about it a lot. My fantasy date is Denver. It's interesting because I haven't got to date a lot in Denver due to the fact that when I do have free time or the weeks that I have spent kind of relaxing, I like to go down to Honduras. My buddy 2 years ago started a nonprofit in Honduras that's built around the idea of sustainable change. So I'll travel down with them, and we'll do. We've adopted at this point 3 villages. These 3 villages we've built in an education system, an agriculture system. And a system that will sustain them, hopefully for the future, in terms of income, job security, and that's really been a passion of mine for the last couple of years. So unfortunately, like I said, I haven't been able to date too much out here. But if I did have an ideal date, I would love to hike back to an yurt. If you don't know what an yurt is a small cabin way out in the middle of nowhere. You have to actually usually shoe back, or you can hike in the summer. Obviously snowshoeing would be tough to convince anybody to go back with, but once you get back there, it's this beautiful setting. They're usually in the middle of nowhere, so it's total relaxation. There's no distractions. You can spend a whole weekend, if you want, sitting underneath the stars, sitting by the fire, if you're trying to get romantic, drinking wine. It's just a perfect setting to just get away from life.
Now, if we would go back home on a fantasy date, my original home, I guess, which would be Warsaw. I grew up on a farm in the middle of a farmland. I mean, there's nothing around us. And so what we did in the summer, or any time of the year, I guess, was jump on four-wheelers, ride horses, hunt, and fish. Very similar to what you do out here, except back home it's flat. Life's very simple. I mean, you don't have neighbors sometimes within miles. And it's really helped me, kind of ground me to come out here when you're in a bigger city, to be comfortable, with yourself, to explore a whole new city that, you might not know many people moving out at. But over time, as you start your career, you kind of get out on the weekends. I've really developed a group of friends that I care about, just like the friends I would back home. I think one of the questions was asking if I've ever been in love. And I have. In college, I met a girl when I was a senior. She was younger. She was a sophomore in college. And over time, as we dated and tried to make it work, our lives went two separate ways. As I was traveling in my free time, like I said, to Honduras, and actually I had moved to Peru right after college for 6 months to teach English to children. We just decided that our lives were different. And so as much as I cared about her and as good as our relationship was, it was best for both of us at the time just to kind of move forward and move apart. So, because of that, like I said, I'm out here. I love it out here. It's a great place. I do love going back home. And so if, I meet somebody that is special to me and I'm committed to, I'd love to take her back to meet my family. It's a small family. I'm an only child. But because of that, my parents were really big into letting my friends, kind of join us on vacations and trips that we took. One funny story I have, or one interesting story, is my 15 seconds of fame. My 15 seconds of fame happened on a spring break when I was 15 years old. Obviously, when you're 15 years old, spring break means a lot to you. You kind of get away from your high school or your life back home, and you can just totally, be yourself, kind of like it is moving to a new city. But anyways, my buddies and I were walking down to the beach in Miami, Florida on spring break, and we came across this bag. It looked like a cereal bag, but it was full of flour, we thought. And so we picked it up, thought it was weird, thought it might have been somebody throwing out their trash on the beach. So we took it to the lifeguard stand and handed it away and kind of walked forward because we didn't know it was anything special. Well, as we walked, all of a sudden we looked back, and long story short, there was this huge cloud of sand and like dust flying towards us. And we stopped and we watched, and these 4 guys on four-wheelers came up and stopped us, and they were part of the police department. They asked us to get on their four-wheelers and ride back to the lifeguard stand. They had something they wanted to talk to us about. So we get back to the lifeguard stand, and there's news cameras and TV channels and all this stuff lined up. Well, what we didn't know at the time was that we had helped find a bag of cocaine from Cuba. Over time, as they continued to research and look through the ocean, they found multiple bags of cocaine, which ended up being one of the largest drug busts in Miami history. So the Today Show and Good Morning America and all these other small news channels did shows on us, and we were 15 years old, so we thought this was the coolest thing ever. And not only were we in South Beach, where the weather's perfect and there's people out on the beach, and we're looking at the scenery, and but we also were able to find cocaine, which makes for a pretty interesting story. So yeah, that's one of my I have tons of cool stories from growing up, but that's one of the ones that stands out to me because there's not often you get to be on TV, and especially as a young guy. Did I forget something?
So, can you tell us a little bit about your travels?
Yeah, I can. So, like I said, out of college, I moved to Peru. Peru was an awesome experience. I moved down with a buddy of mine. We decided that because at the time we didn't have jobs and we weren't really, ready for that step yet, that if we moved to, a foreign country just to explore, Peru obviously has Machu Picchu, which is something we wanted to hike. But as I mentioned earlier, honestly, a big passion of mine is children in foreign countries, because I've been able to see it in Honduras, and I understand that the life that we're given here in the United States is not comparable to the life that they have in these foreign countries. They struggle for food and water and the necessities of life. So we went down to Peru to teach English, to understand their culture more. I was down there for 6 months. It was an amazing experience. But over time, as as the trip continued, and I had no plan of moving back immediately, but I realized that, you know, my heart and my passion was for kids across the world, and that because of that I needed to move back to the United States and help back my neighbors, and then from there hopefully develop an income and a savings where then I could, you know, use my own resources to help people in foreign countries.
Got it.
That's it?
That's everything.
I think you should tell us a little bit more about your parents.
Yeah? Alright. Well, yeah, my parents and I are really close. They're some of my closest friends, and like I said, they're really big growing up because unfortunately they were, you know, unable to have any more children. That I was it, and so I was the only one. The pressure is on, and so as a family we became really good friends, and even to this day, you know, from a young age, they weren't only my parents who I respected and loved, but also, you know, the friendship and the bond that we built. They knew everything about me. You know, playing sports growing up, that's obviously a big deal. There's a lot of pressure on you at times, and so sports were a big part of my life. And so they, as parents, were guiding me and helping me through that, kind of counseling me through, you know, the ins and outs of life as you try to mature as a young man. They're still in Indiana. They make it out here every once in a while. I definitely miss them at times, but it's good for both of us to kind of live separate lives, and then hopefully one day, you know, those lives will join as I, you know, start a family of my own.
Talk a little bit more about sports.
So, I did grow up playing sports. I had made plans to play collegiately, but fortunately, I actually blew out my knee in my senior season of football. And so I had planned and kind of prepared to play football in college. And as that dream quickly faded, my life then had to, you know, focus on getting an education, what was the next best step in life. But from a young age, I always played sports. I was a little taller than everybody else, so basketball came a little easier. Football was great because it taught me, you know, how to lead by example, and then also on the field. But, you know, as that ends and you have to start a whole new life, it's a big life change, especially at 18 years old. So I ended up going to college at Indiana University to get a degree in business, which is, you know, kind of now catapulted me to live in Denver and work for a software company as an account manager.
That was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything?
No?
A little better?
Yeah.
Special talents, but I don't know.
I really don't have any.
Yeah.